one of the reels. That was one of the first reels I did. My hair was super messy, you know, and I said exactly that, right? And the one thing that's funny is my daughter, because everything's like measured, she'll come over, she'll, can I have some? And I'm like, no, mommy's measured this. Like, this is measured food. Like, if you take it, I'm gonna starve, right? But I put that on my reels because when I was talking to some people, they're like, I know, that always happens. I'm like, oh, so people do agree with this, right? And
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
all right, this is Real Talk with Carmen Costa. Yes, I'm doing the all right. I can't do it without it. Anyways, today I thought we would cover, because it was one of my goals, I think it was in one of the videos that I wanted to start Reels and TikTok. Anyways, I actually started it over the weekend, and it has been addictive. Like, you saw me, I'm like, record me. Do it again.
I come into the office and here's the phone, record me. Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, it's, you know, it's a lot of fun. Like, I realize when I'm doing it and I'm going through the motions, I actually do like it a lot. I'm like, this is fun. Like, why aren't people doing it, right? Like,
So how are you getting inspired? Is it through the songs? Is it the sounds? Is it watching other people? Like what's your
it's the sound, like the songs, right? Because you're watching yourself as you're doing it, and like I'm like, I realize I'm dramatic. Like Zervain says.
Really?
I realize I'm like, the one was when the one I did was this is me. This is, you know, like
Yeah.
the one, and it was like, I'm all about mortgages. I love mortgages. And I'm like, oh, this is a good, and I came up with it on my own. I was like, you know, I like it. I don't want to copy somebody. So I've looked at some people's stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. So I'll like mangle. So I'll just like mix it all together.
You're getting inspired by everybody else, right?
I am. Like, I'm all about reels. So I watch people and I laugh. So like, Zervain's like, seriously? Like, if I can't sleep, that's what I'm doing. I'm watching that
It's
just to
the
get
new TV, isn't it?
100%. Because you're watching people, and I think it's more about, because we're going to do one here tomorrow. Like, I wish nobody could come in today, because I was like, oh, come when Jamie's here. You know, the one that, and you're bending over? Like, you know, the one?
Yeah.
So we're going to do it in all the spaces here, and there's like 7 of us that are going to do it, right? So that one I was inspired, because I'm like, oh my gosh. But if you, like, so I realized when I did it, my agents were getting inspired. So Eric did the coffee one. He's like, I really want to do that. Does anybody want coffee? And he's doing it, right? So on the weekend, I'm going to connect with him. Like, I'm going to do the half. So I started learning on YouTube. You can learn that stuff. I'm going to do the half and answer him, right? So I'm like, yeah, Eric, do it. So I motivated him, and he tagged TCG. And I'm like, yeah. So what I want is, like, my vision is have all the agents do reels and then them just tag TCG. So we're all tagging TCG, and it's fun.
Yeah, it's almost like a group project that you guys are putting out.
Oh my God, it's so much fun. Like, and it's funny because even like, I was like this, do I want to be the person that has perfect hair all the time, perfect makeup? Do I want that? And you know what? I dropped a video. Zervain was a part of it.
Yep.
I dropped it was like maybe the 3rd video in. I dropped it in just to say, like, oh my God, I have the best agents, right? And Zervain wanted to be involved. He's like, can I do that one part? And you could see in the video that he's looking at me like, did I do it right? And I'm like, oh my God. Out of the 7 videos we recorded, that was the best one. But he looked at me, right? And I'm like, but do I want to be the one that, you know, and Chantal brought this up to me. Do I want to have the perfect hair? No, I don't. I realized, you know, reels are going to be like me, who I am as a person, like my everyday life. Hair up, tied in a bun, I don't care. You know, like here it's different. We're doing batch recordings. This is awesome. But I'm going to be completely honest. I really love reels.
And
like,
you've changed a lot when it comes to the videos that we're doing now here. Like even these videos, which are more serious and a little bit more up, you know, done properly and all of that. But even that, you've changed a lot. You've become more of yourself on camera.
100%.
Right?
Like, but the one
You always keep mentioning the first videos, but it is true though.
No,
like,
it is. It is
the
like
evolution.
It is the evolution. But I honestly think like the reels, the TikToks, it's a lot of fun, and there's so much knowledge like that. So I'm like, how do I do this? Like, I didn't know how to do like when you're pointing and it shows up. Because you have to do separate recordings. So I'm like, this is boring. I want to continue doing what I'm doing. I like how the flow goes. But it seems like it's a lot of work. And then Zervain's like, are you going to get one of those lights, the circle lights? I'm like, no. But it's funny because I'm yelling light to everybody. I'm like, more light. I need more light. Elena, open the curtain. Hurry up.
So it's become, so you brought the whole family into this.
So
now.
yeah, so my daughter's still shy, the little one. I don't want to show my kid's face on social media. So I will cover their faces if I do. I'm very hardcore about showing my kids. We've talked about this.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I want them. I want them to make their own decision.
Exactly.
And whenever they feel like they want to be on social, they'll be on social.
Yeah, and my kids, I'll be honest with you, like, one thing I have to say, my children are the best with adults. Like, they were here 2 days ago. Zervain it was yesterday. They came in for lunch with me. And they went to everybody's office. They were talking. And, like, I think some of the new agents were like, wow, your kids are, like, really talkative. I'm like, are you kidding me? Of course. But, yeah, no, they are. Like, if you meet my children, they're very friendly. They want to, they're very like, they're so like, they're empaths, right? So they have they connect with people. And I just love watching them interact with the agents here. I'm like, oh my God, they're so awesome. But they enjoyed it. Like, so I think this weekend I am going to do one with the kids. I have an idea, but I was saying to you, I know you were like, oh, do some tips on mortgages and all that. I actually like where I'm going with it. Like I'm motivation, right? So I'm all about motivation. So I want to do one with motivation. I want to do, with my agents. I want to, the guru, like, ask me any questions you want. Like, and I do tell people, like, on the Reels, on Instagram, whatever you want to know, I'll put some content out there, right? But when it comes to Reels, when it comes to my Reels, I do want to say I want to mix it up, right? I want to tie in my agents.
Have fun.
I want to have a lot of fun because that's who we are here. And I said to Zervain the other day, he's like Eric's one was awesome. Like, who wants coffee? And he's yelling, it's the best. And here's the thing, like, with Reels, you have to act.
Yeah.
And then you start to see the characters of people doing it. They're not dry. You're like, oh my God, I like this guy, right? And then so you're clicking and you're going off to go deal with him. And that's perfect. Just imagine everybody ties into, TCG. But I am having fun. I'm having a lot of fun, right? And every time I send it to Jamie, I'm like, Jamie, what are your thoughts on this? He's like, it's better.
I know. I'm so critical. But you're doing it the right way. Just get it done. Just start doing it. You know what? Sometimes me as a creative person, I'm my worst enemy because I'm always like, things have to be well lit and perfectly shot and this and that. Me. And then you end up going, okay, I'm not going to have time to do all that, so I won't do it.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what's been happening with me. I'm going to be honest. The one that I posted, I was so discouraged, and like, I'm going to get back to this because this is going to be one topic I'm going to talk about. Me and Zervain has started this health journey, right? Yeah. And it has, like, if you've done it with Anna, you would know. So I've started this health journey, and it's going to be a part of my Reels, right? So every Saturday I do a weigh-in check-in. I'm done with weigh-ins, right? So, in your mind, you're like, oh, I did so good this week. And then you go step on the scale and it's like, are you kidding me? Like, you ate good, you've measured your food, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. And that was one of the Reels. That was one of the first Reels I did. My hair was super messy, and I said exactly that, right? And the one thing that's funny is my daughter, because everything's like measured, she'll come over, she'll say, can I have some? And I'm like, no, mommy's measured this. Like, this is measured food. Like, if you take it, I'm going to starve, right? But I put that on my Reels because when I was talking to some people, they're like, I know, that always happens. I'm like, oh, so people do agree with this, right? And that's what I'm saying. I want to go, like, and that's what I'm doing right now. It's a health journey. We're trying to get, in shape because I'm older, right? Like, I want to be young where I can run with my kids. I know you're going to say something, but I do want to stay healthy. I do, I don't want to be like, oh, my lower back hurts, yada, yada, But yeah, so, and that's what we're doing. I'm doing that with the Reels because I do sympathize with people when I look at it. But you know what? You're doing the right thing because first, going healthier is always a good choice.
Such a challenge.
And you're so right. When you do get people reacting to what you're saying, you don't know how many people you're going to be impacting. That's the bottom line. Like, I don't think people realize you're on social. You just don't know who's watching your stuff and,
you really don't.
And who you can impact with a sentence that you're saying or an action that you know, something that
100%.
will move that person in saying, you know what, I'm going to start doing that too, or I'm going to better my life too. And it, you know, not that you're going to have that feeling of, oh my God, I got to be careful with what I'm saying or doing or recording because people will take, just be yourself. And I
100%.
think, you know, that can help so many people.
Well, I'm doing that now. And that's what I was saying to you. Like when I did that video, I'm like, do I want to do this? And then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I do. Because I was, and it's funny because the kids were like, Mommy, are you happy? Or so, because I'll go on the scale and I get so like it's a bother, right? Like you go on and you're like, man, I worked out really hard. Like,
yeah, but
why?
if you find someone in your reels that is going through what you're going through, and they're saying, but you know what, the scale was shitty today, but I'm gonna continue doing.
And they did, and that's what I'm saying. That happened. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like somebody messaged me and they're like chin up, man. And then my whole mood changed, and it was like, you know what? And then one person in particular was like, stop with the scale, man. Don't even go on the scale. And you're right. I'm not going to go on the scale.
And you're going to get the groups that are going to help you out.
I love it. And that's what I'm saying. I really liked that whole perspective when I did it, because you were like, okay, do content. Don't, do content. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but I want to start off like this. And then maybe I'll jump into content.
You got to mix it. You got to mix it. Yeah.
And I don't want, I really want to showcase my agents. I really want to, so I want to focus on the group, right? Like my agents and what I'm about as a leader, right? Because I really, honestly, really work on myself as a leader. And I tell people, give me the constructive criticism. Let me know exactly, if something's bothering you about how I approach something, right? So I'm a very open-minded leader where I want to know how I can improve, right? And you know that, it's just, but that's what I'm saying. Like with these reels, it's going to be different. I want to start this way, and then I'll move into content. If I feel like something, like yesterday, I don't know if it was Serena, she's like, are you going to do something about the announcement? I'm like, no. Because when I sent out that email to my client base, so many people started calling and they were panicking. And then when they talked to me, they felt 100 times better. They're like, oh, that's all it is? Oh, okay, all right. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. When you advertise something, people look at it differently. If they're not in the industry, they won't understand what you're talking about.
100%.
So I think, my next post is funny. It's literally about down payment. And the only reason why I did this down payment was this, or not down payment, closing. I had a client call me and say, hey, can I buy this car before closing? I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like total debt service and gross debt service, and no, you can't do this. And I thought it was humorous because he really didn't know. He thought he could go out and buy a car. And I'm like, no, what are you talking about, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do a post about somebody calling me about doing, you got to see the post. So funny. So, but it's about that, right? It's like, no, don't mess up with your credit. Don't go out and buy furniture. Don't go out and do any of that before closing. Because you never know where your total debt servicing and gross debt servicing has been. I may have gotten an exception with the lender. These are things that I think clients just really don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So so that's what we're looking at. I always say, Jamie, thanks for pushing me into doing reels.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, I was a little stressed out, but now I'm actually really excited about it. I think it's going to be awesome. So keep, if you haven't, can you put my handle up?
Right there.
Yeah, so here's my handle. Please add me on Reels, TikTok.
We'll put a couple of.
I only have 5 followers on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, please follow me.
Follow.
Anyways, if you have any comments that, you want to talk about, you want to mention, by all means, comment below. Hit the bell notification so you know when I drop a video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel and you only see me on Facebook. I think you've been doing the little clips to reel people in. My kids told me yesterday I'm almost at 100 followers. I was so excited. I'm like, woo, 100 followers.
On YouTube, I think you've passed that already.
Am I past that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Anyways, yeah. So, like I said, we're on Spotify as well. Anything else, Jamie, before we go?
No, it's just share it. Share it with your friends and family.
Sure.
That's the thing. There's
Awesome.
always a lot of nuggets of value in these videos.
100%. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right. Nah, man, I got a 12:30 though. You're the worst. You're the worst with pictures, bro. The worst. I look like a Santa Maria.
Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Wow, the worst, bro. Please don't do that. Oi, Santa Maria, mãe de Deus. I'll show you videos. I show you. What is this, Santa Maria? I'm not advertising anybody. Everybody got cut off because I got no endorsement. No endorsements. All right, this is real talk. Why do I feel like I yell all the time?
Because you do.
No, I don't. Okay, fine. I'll do it again.
What?
There,
This is what I go through.
I
single
know.
time.
Okay. All right.
All right. All right.
All right. All right. This is real. Why did you start that? I'm like, what is wrong with me? Okay, for real.
Oh my God.
All right. I gotta go eat something. I'm hungry.